Hey, what's up, guys? Before we kickstart this review for SmackDown, June 17, 2022, and we will go over all of it. Vince McMahon, middle of the ring. What was that all about? A power move by Vince McMahon. Now, all of a sudden, that he's in deep shit. Now he wants us all to come together. We'll talk all about it. And Brock Lesnar returns last night just to set up a SummerSlam match with Roman Reigns, a match that we will see this summer for the 67th time. Only a slight exaggeration. We're going to talk all about it. But first, BC, on behalf of the entire Amplified unit, would like to send out the most sincere condolences, love, strength, and support to the Hebner family. Longtime WWF official Dave Hebner has passed away, I believe, at the age of 73. And, of course, he was the long-time official for WWF, but then he became an agent backstage as well and played a really pivotal role for that company. He was the twin brother of Earl Hebner. Earl, of course, went on to be an even more famous WWF referee and synonymous with Hulk Hogan. But Dave Hebner had huge moments. One of the biggest growing up for BC was Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan. And it was on a show called The Main Event. They didn't even call it Saturday Night's Main Event. It was called The Main Event. It was February 5th, 1988. Andre versus Hulk, title on the line. It was a botch fest. Andre the Giant goes to suplex Hogan. There's just a couple of problems. Andre the Giant can't really throw a suplex that good. Hulk Hogan can't take a suplex that good. It was a total botch. And then the finish, which was hokey pokey anyway, came right after it, which was Dave Hebner counting to 3, even though Hogan has his shoulder up. The botch here was that it was just ugly done, right? I mean, if BC had the good, the bad, and the ugly review, I would have had to have put 3 uglies into the ugly column. Because Hogan put his shoulder up at 1, and Dave just never bothered to even look at anybody. He just stared at the mat, a long 2, and an even longer 3 count. So coming off the heels of the botched suplex, even at a young age, BC was, I was questioning that whole entire finish. But Dave Hebner played his role good, like he was in cahoots with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Virgil, and Andre, because they were all a clique. And Dave Hebner was the evil, dastardly referee, so that's why he counted 3 regardless. Still looked pretty ugly. Perhaps we could have done a little better. But Earl Hebner made his debut that night, and it was like everybody was seeing the same individual. They were looking at each other like, who are you? I'm Dave Hebner. No, I'm the real Dave Hebner. And Hulk Hogan's confused. Who the fuck just screwed me here? So the real Dave Hebner beats the shit out of Earl, and then Hogan takes Dave Hebner and tosses him over the top rope. Right onto Andre and them, man. At that time, you didn't really see referees getting tossed like that. Dave Hebner took one for the team. Anyway, man, if you grew up 80s, 90s, Earl and Dave Hebner were the referees. If you guys listen to a lot of my reviews today, I talk a lot about the referees and their role, and if they're good at what they do, good at their job, or if you're just a shitty referee. It's an it factor, just like a commentator, just like a wrestler. You have to have an it factor for it. Refereeing is the same thing. I see a lot of referees that just, no other way to put it, they just suck. Dave and Earl set the blueprint for officiating. And we just lost Dave Hebner again. I believe at the age of 73, after battling a couple of different things. So we do want to send out a lot of strength, support, and love over to the Hebner family, man. They were fired around 2005-ish, maybe? Maybe my years are off, but they were fired for running a a little bit of a side operation with merchandise. They knew somebody who was in embroidering, and they had a lot of hookups, and they were selling a lot of WWF merchandise behind the old bastards' back. Got caught, and unfortunately got the axe, and never returned, sadly. But anyway, to Dave Hebner, man, much love and respect, man. Always going to be remembered as the blueprint for officiating, him and his brother Earl. So I wanted to send that little bit of respect over there. I'm going to get a Lavazza Espresso Italiano coffee started. And guys, we got to talk SmackDown for June 17th, 2022. And Vince McMahon, as it looks right now, he's got no chance in hell of getting out of this one. We'll talk all about it right now. Top of the morning or afternoon, evening, wherever you guys are in the world. Hopefully you're crushing it, man. We got the Lavazza Italiano Espresso coffee being brewed. So we about to be even more amped as we go over SmackDown for June 17, 2022. Vince McMahon, middle of the ring, amidst the allegations, the investigation. The world is on pins and needles. Oh, that's a great sound. What's the old bastard from Stamford, Connecticut gonna say? Oh, we gotta talk about it, man, because he didn't say a lot. A lot of people are like, what the fuck is that? What kind of power trip is this dude on? And we're gonna talk Brock Lesnar returning as well, man. Scooter McGee, fucking Matt Riddle. He's taking on Roman Reigns. Pretty damn good match. With the expected finish. We'll talk all this, man. And I'm not going to waste anyone's time, man. I know the cold open was on Dave Hebner, but whenever we lose somebody from the past that BC and a lot of you guys kind of grew up with, and we have so many moments and memories with these people, the least I can do is spend a few minutes on a channel that I created about pro wrestling, man. The very least that these individuals have earned is a few minutes on my channel. You know, I would love to do a whole fucking hour long on Dave Hebner moments because I could. Him and his brother. But this show, man, we got to jumpstart this. I would have loved to have done this live, guys. It's just not in the cards right now. I have to film this. Hopefully, I can do this within an hour. Once I start talking pro wrestling, you never know. 1 hour turns into 2, 2 turns to 3. But I do have to get this done in an adequate amount of time, and I know it's the weekend. You guys got to rock it out as well. So I'm going to jump right into this shit. We're going to get to the gold right from the jump, because the gold in last night's show, what everybody was tuning in for, was Vince McMahon. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. What is this dude going to say? He's in character, we think, right? It's Mr. McMahon showing up. A lot of people were expecting this dude to apologize or really talk in depth about the investigation, middle of the ring. You guys were getting your hopes up just a bit high, and I'm exaggerating. I'm being generous. That's when a pitcher pitches the ball into the front row, and the commentator says just a bit outside. You were never going to get that from Vince. I always knew this was going to be like a kind of a character-driven promo, but it was going to have overtones of why maybe he's stepping aside, or maybe giving the ball to Stephanie somehow, maybe writing him off. Maybe he gets destroyed by a returning Brock Lesnar if that's what you got planned. If this dude's coming back last night, maybe he destroys McMahon. I don't know, man. I expected something half storyline, but half in the realm of what's actually going on. I never expected an apology. I didn't expect him to go in depth with the investigation. but I expected some blurred lines type of deal for a couple of minutes. It's been clear, though, for the past several years, Vince, something's wrong. I mean, it's old age, obviously, but he's not comfortable and he's just not good on the mic anymore. Not that he ever was great, but I mean, the dude on commentary was actually... I didn't mind Vince McMahon back in the day. You know what I mean? Him and Jesse Ventura was actually fun to listen to. Him and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Not like Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon, but Vince and Heenan, man, they just work so well together. I didn't mind that. Even Macho Man and Vince. Jim Ross and Vince butted head too much. Sometimes it was a little awkward. But he was always quick-witted on the mic, whether it was commentary or in cutting a promo in the middle of the ring. Over the past several years, man, you saw that declining rapidly. I think he knows he can't cut a promo anymore. I think he knows he can't speak for more than a minute. BC probably should have thought about that going into this promo, or lack thereof. But I wasn't expecting him to do that much, but damn, I was expecting, like a lot of you, a little bit more than we got. This dude stood in the middle of the ring, and he literally says, just like the opening signature, WWE is then, now, and forever. And the most important word in that signature, the most important of the 4 words, he says, is together. He puts emphasis on together. And that was the promo. That's what he said. He went out to the middle of the ring to say that. Just like the 4 words in the opening signature, then, now, forever, together. And then he says, welcome to SmackDown, and he leaves. Now, when he left, let's not bullshit. Let's call it down the middle. That's what this channel does. He was very emotional. Go back, check it out. Look at his eyes, man. He was emotional. You could tell the weight of the world is currently on his shoulders. Which, for somebody like Vince, that's a different position to be in. Because McMahon is not used to being the one who's being crushed. Quite frankly, man, if you followed his career, he's the one doing the crushing. He's the one who's got you against the ropes. He's the one who's got you in fear. He's not used to being the one who's now, his whole career, his livelihood is now in other people's hands, and he chose to go public. That's what happens. When you go public, the board kind of runs you. That's exactly what happens, guys. The CEO, I know it sounds so awesome, right? It's the top guy in the company. But, guys, when you go public and you have a board, anybody in business will tell you this. You now, as the CEO, you answer to the board. The board is your boss. That's not BC just stretching the truth a little bit. That's literally what anybody in business will tell you. The board serves for the overall well-being of the company at large. That means they are the boss. Vince McMahon, when he went public, he had to start answering to the board, but he got away with everything. This is the first real investigation that has this dude against the ropes, and he's not used to that. He's had some scuffles over his decades. The steroid trial, you guys remember that? There was the ring boy. Oh, that wasn't really a trial, but there was the scandal. I'm not going to go in depth on that. There was the Jimmy Superfly Snuka deal. The Owen Hart situation took on a life of its own. The Bret Hart situation. I mean, this guy has found himself in rough spots over the years and decades, but this is the first time where he literally could lose his position in the company. Whether you think he's going to or not, that's another story. Nobody knows what this investigation has. So far, every day, more alarming red flags are coming out of this investigation that is further burying Vince McMahon in all of this. But no matter what you think, this is the first time where he was really in jeopardy of losing it all. So you saw that emotion when he left the ring last night. And that was the first thing I noticed. But if we can go back to the promo or lack thereof, the short fucking 60 seconds that he cut, He went into the middle of the ring just to say, then, now, forever, together. This was clearly a power move, right? He wanted to show everybody that he's unfazed, right? That WWE's not going anywhere. Everybody relax. No matter what, this what I've created is staying put. That's just what it seemed like. And that last word that he put emphasis on, together. This is the first time that I've followed McMahon for decades that he's ever given a fuck about us, bro. The last 10 years will tell you that. He doesn't give a shit. We've been trying to give him so many fucking ideas. Listen to us. That's what he used to claim he did. He listens to the fans to make a better product. We've been trying to tell him one fucking story, one idea, one creative concept. Just a fucking a feather in the wind that might land on his desk and might make this shit better. For 10 years. It's not a coincidence the ratings have plummeted. It's not just because people are not watching TV as much. Of course, that's some of it. But you don't lose 5, 6 plus million people because even the streaming numbers, even the YouTube numbers, nothing is accounting for that lost audience. So far, if you took everything together, the cord cutting, the streaming services, the YouTube clips or videos that WWE puts out, you can add up all the numbers. You're not getting to your 6, 7 plus million mark that we used to be at just in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'll tell you why. It's because the product has sucked for 10 years up front. And it keeps getting drastically worse by the year, by the month, by the week, by the day. Pay-per-views don't even feel special anymore. Let's be honest, man. Half these pay-per-views on paper don't even excite us. Nothing to look forward to. There's no good storylines. Everything is just a rematch of a match that you've already seen 3 or 4 times during the weekly shows, and then we're going to see it again at the pay-per-view. Title matches, most of them, the champion already lost to the challenger in a contenders match. So we've already seen the match. Pay-per-views, they don't drive any emotion. You watch Monday Night Raw, I always tell you, out of habit and hope. Habit because we've been doing it since we were kids. Hope, hoping that it gets better. That's why we watch Raw. We're not watching Raw excited. You're probably watching Raw in a comatose state, kind of sleepy. It's kind of dragging. It's a fucking forever 3 hours. But you're hoping to get one really good segment of the 3 hours, man, because that's what it's come to. Basically pleading to get one good segment on a 3-hour Raw. And did you get it? Was the pose down between Lashley and Theory? Was that what you were waiting for? What could possibly have done it for you? What was it? Rhea Ripley talking trash on the Tron to Bianca Belair in the ring? Wow, riveting promo work. And you know what's sad? I can't even tell you anything else that happened. 3 hours. I reviewed the whole show, too. I can't even tell you, man. I was going to spit some more shit out to you guys to make you see how embarrassing Monday night is. But you know what? I can't even think of anything else, bro. That's sad. The product keeps getting worse. This guy has not cared about us since the inception of WWF when he took over it. And it's just gotten worse over time. But now he wants to be together. He put the emphasis on that word. Don't give up on me now. As long as we stay together, we're going to stay afloat. Bro, you were never with us. Now you want to stay together when you were never with us? It's funny, man. It's interesting. And there was reports going on that backstage for the talent meeting before SmackDown that Vince was all smiles, laughing, even giggling in high spirits, good spirits. And that's good because the optics you want to show, you want to portray that the ship is not sinking, right? Everything is good, nobody panic. I get that. But what he went out to the ring and did, it's an obvious power move with a side order of sympathy. And if you ask BC, that's quite pathetic. That's quite obnoxious. That's mind-bogglingly confusing. It was just not needed. It was so odd. It was clearly a power move and also simultaneously trying to draw up sympathy. It's so odd, man. And to be fair, for everybody just bashing Vince just because of the hush money thing, I think there's a misconception that Vince was forcing himself on people. That has not been confirmed or even in the initial report, guys. So I know we're all ripping Vince apart for justified reasons. This is a day of reckoning for Vince McMahon. But, I don't want to foolishly wreck the guy. I don't want you guys to think something that's not accurate. He's not being accused of forcing himself on anybody. The investigation that we have so far, the report, is that this was consensual. So nobody is saying that. Some people are talking about this like Vince shouldn't have done this because this is a serious issue and there's women that are struggling with this. And I'm like, wait, what does this have to, what are you talking about? This is just a consensual relationship that hush money was paid for because Vince knew this is not the behavior that you do with a company that's public like WWE, the conglomerate. That's why the hush money was paid. It wasn't because he forced himself on somebody and then he fucking paid them off. Now, was there other females and that'll come out? Maybe that's another story. But so far, man, all we know is it's consensual. So BC isn't even, I'm not dragging this dude because he put his pixie stick in a pouch of sugar that he found on the side. That's fine. If him and Linda McMahon were separated, which the latest report says they've been separated, and he wants to dip his pixie stick over there, then he's going to do that. The issue is you have to know when you're the CEO of a publicly traded company, the conglomerate size of WWE, you can't act that way. You can't do that. You can't be fucking paralegals. You can't be fucking the receptionist. You can't be fucking your assistant. The optics will drag the company down. The board will look like fucking idiots. Your shareholder, everybody looks like a fool when their CEO is fucking around the place. Fucking around Stamford, Connecticut. And then passing these women over to Johnny Laurinaitis. You can't do it, man. Vince knows this. He's not fucking an idiot, as much as we would like to argue that. And he's losing a little as the years go on, but he knows what to and not do as a publicly traded CEO of a company like WWE, especially. This dude's not fucking foolish. That's where the hush money came in. That shows you he wasn't dumb in trying to cover this up. He was dumb as fuck for doing it. But he was smart enough to know that this was bad. And I gotta fucking pay whatever, $3 million over to this motherfucker just to be like, dude, can we kind of swipe that under the fucking rug? And then we found out there's other females he may have fucked. So, but as long as it's consensual, man, I think people are thinking this is a different kind of a case. Like this is Johnny Depp, Amber Heard or something. No, this is a consensual thing, but it's still something you cannot do in a publicly traded company as a CEO. And that's what the investigation now is. Was this company money? Was this out of Vince's pocket? Now, if you think a ruthless aggression type of businessman like Vince McMahon just took $3 million just for one of the females. We don't know how much money the other females were paid. This could be upwards of $10 million. If you think that Vince McMahon just reached in his pocket or went to his bank and took out $10 million for several females of his own money, no, that's not what ruthless aggression billionaires do. They usually try to find a way to take it from the company. And if you think for 1 second, even if Vince gets off on this, if you think for 1 second BC's going to believe that this dude didn't take $10 million from the company and not his own pocket, fuck that, bro. Vince McMahon thinks that he can outsmart everybody. He always has. He always has thought that way. He hasn't always done it. Oh, fuck, man. That was so good, man. That's the Italiano espresso from Lavazza, man. Wow. Wow, that's insane. I'm probably going to have a couple of those today. But if you think that Vince McMahon didn't use company money, you got to be delusional. Vince McMahon said, I'm going to support whatever the findings are. BC's not going to, because if this dude gets let off the hook, then he outsmarted everybody. There's no way you're going to convince me that he took upwards of $10 million, because that's at least what it's going to be. $3 million we know for one female. They said that there's other females that got hush money as well. You got to believe that's in the millions. So even if you have 3 more at $2 million, 6 plus 3, that's 9. Okay, so you have upwards of $10 million. You're not going to, BC is not going to believe that a billionaire as shady and as much of a prick as Vince McMahon and how he's treated his talented employees over the years, there's no way you're going to make me believe that he took $10 million out of his own money. Somehow, some way that came from the company. And to prove that I'm on the right track, that's why you see this type of large-scale investigation. Right? Vince could have easily said, no, it was my money. Why have this many people doubted him and said, to the point where they said, no, this needs to be investigated? Guys, it's because you can't trust Vince, man. Even if you love Vince McMahon, you love WWE, you're so behind Vince because he gave you your childhood. I get it. But you got to believe me when I say, man, he can't be trusted. Ask Sasha Banks how many times she's been lied to. Ask FTR or Miro. Almost a Big Brody, man. Much love to Big Brody Lee. But you can ask so many individuals what they were promised. And the old bastard doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care, man. Nobody can believe that this dude took $10 million out and gave it to people out of his own pocket. You got to believe this came from the company, and that is where the biggest no-no comes from, man. That's where you will be out. And the fact that he voluntarily stepped aside tells BC that he knew he was involuntarily going to get Das Boot. So anyway, that's what I got to say about that. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I didn't even gauge the community afterwards. I had to do a bunch of things, got to bed finally at 3:30 a.m., and here we are just a few hours filming this. Which, by the way, thank you guys, man, for yesterday's live stream. We are over 10,000 views. I only gave 10 minutes of notice, and we went over 10,000 views. It's not even, it's what, 16, 17 hours since that went up. Not even a full day, man, and we're catapulting toward 11,000, so much appreciation on that. I really do thank you guys for coming to BC for all the news and to hear my thoughts on it, man. I know there's a lot of options in the community, so to know that you guys come to BC, that means a lot. And that's my thoughts on this Vince McMahon shit. I thought it was obnoxious. I know exactly what it was. It was a power move with a side order of sympathy. But whether he meant to do it or not, man, that look at his face when he walked away, you saw the emotion, though. You saw that the weight of the world was on his shoulders. We were expecting a little more, not an apology. I don't know why anybody would have thought that. But I thought something a little more telling was going to be told. Some substance was going to be there. I mean, to just go into the middle of the ring and talk about the opening signature, so fucking odd, bro. So odd. I'm going to move on with it because then I'm just going to fucking just be... Vince McMahon is going to put us in a befuddled, comatose state for the rest of the day if I keep talking about this stupid shit. Real quick, guys, if you don't mind, if you haven't already, smash that like somewhere down below. Give it an amplified elbow. Don't break your laptop or your phone or your computer. So if you're going to break it, just give it a hard smash then. But smash that like for BC. That's going to help the algorithm. So I appreciate that. And now let's move on. Can I get a... Yeah, can I? I said, can I? Of course I'm going to get another sip, man. Let me get it. This is good shit, man. Espresso coffee from Lavazza. I'm telling you guys. The Italianos, they know what they're doing. We know what we're doing. Riddle then scooters his ass to the ring, goes on a 5-minute rant about his hero and stepdaddy, Randy. He's like, Randy, we miss you. And the crowd gives an applause, right? The crowd cheers at that. We miss Randy, okay. Then he says, Randy, thank you. Crowd again applauses, okay. Crowd cheers, right? So he says, Randy, we miss you. Crowd loves it. Randy, thank you. Crowd loves it. Then he stares right at the hard cam and he says, Randy, I love you. And I'm not even shitting. You can go back and watch yourself, man. The crowd was like, That ain't it, bro. It was, bro. Sasha, my assistant's even laughing her ass off, man. Oh, bruh. What the fuck? What are you doing? This is so creepy, man, with this Riddle shit. It was cringeworthy. It was so fucking weird that the crowd reaction was actually funny. They cheered for the "we miss you." They cheered for the "thank you." And when he says, "Randy, I love you," the crowd's like, "Get a beer, honey? Yeah, give me a beer. I'm gonna get a beer. Let me go get a beer. I'll get a beer. Honey, you sit down. I'll go get the beer." This is getting a little fucking weird. Randy, I love you. I mean, this is weird. This whole... And it's funny because Matt Riddle, when he's serious, like, I mean, we've been seeing shades of him furious. And he's cuts better promos when he's furious. And in the ring, he's even better when he's more furious. I like that Matt Riddle, just like in NXT. This needy stepchild character that he does with Orton, I can't stand it. I can't stand this character, man. I don't like needy people anyway. I grew up that way. Just not liking needy people. I grew up in a set of fucking projects. I had to earn and fight for everything I got. Build everything I've ever gotten in my life. I built it. And just needy people, dude, just always just made me, just irked me. And you have Matt Riddle, who you guys remember what the whole character is based on many months ago when he started with Orton. I said this many times on this channel. You can go back and look at the promo yourself. Watch it, listen. He talked about his father leaving when he was younger to get milk, and he never came back, and he was afraid that Randy did the same thing to him. And that's where this stepchild, kind of stepfather type thing, character, this is where it started. I mean, that's literally the character. I'm not making that up. He told that story. And then you come full circle to last night where he looks at the hard cam, and for 5 minutes he's talking about "we miss you" and "thank you" and "everything I do is for you, Randy, and I love you." And I'm like, whoa, bro, shut the fuck up. If Randy was watching, he just turned the fucking channel. I mean, what are they doing with that, man? Weird. Fucking weird, but at least it was funny, man. I mean, the crowd was like, no, BC had to fucking laugh. First, I was just cringed out by it. Then I just fucking laughed because the crowd, this was one of the first times where a live crowd simultaneously agreed with BC. No, bro, that ain't it. It was so fucking weird. And then the segment ends with Orton's music playing, and Matt Riddle continues to try to be Randy Orton. It's so awkward. Now he's even doing his music. First match of the night was another match between Corbin and Madcap. This thing was already ended with these two, so we thought, because this company has no desire whatsoever to spend a single minute on what's next. We are stuck with the same redundancy every week. So we thought that Corbin and Moss was done. Nah. You're going to get it again. It's the same thing they always do. It's the same thing we thought with Bobby Lashley and Omos every time they face. It's it. Oh, no. Because WWE didn't think about the future. Think about what's next for either of them. We have to get it again. It's the same thing they did with fucking the Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair. What was it? It was a triple threat. Who the hell was the third one? Asuka, Bianca, Becky. And every week you're just getting the same fucking matches until we get to the pay-per-view, which is the same fucking match, just all three of them. Right? It doesn't end. It just, you keep getting it. Ezekiel and Kevin Owens, right? You thought that was finished, and then they just keep facing each other because WWE has nothing. So whether it's Bobby Lashley and Omos, whether it's Ezekiel and Kevin Owens, whether it's the Street Profits and Alpha Academy, or when Orton was not injured, RK Bro, it's just the same matches. Every match. I'm just giving you some examples. And you think it's over, and it never is. Because the company goes, oh, fuck, I didn't even think about what's next. I forgot this is over. We got to think, oh, well, just do it again. But we ended it. It doesn't matter. Just do it again. Doesn't matter. Boss Man doesn't give a fuck because he's fucking in the bathroom right now. There's a young paralegal in there. He can't be bothered with good booking. So yeah, this did perturb me, guys, because this is It's like a broken record. If you listen to one BC review, you're going to hear one word probably every single review several times. Redundancy. It's like Sesame Street. Today's word, redundancy. But wasn't that yesterday's word? And the day before? And the day before? Yes. Little Timmy. Little Jerry. It's every day's word. Redundancy. Learn it. Spell it. Know it. Be at one with it. Especially when we're talking about this company. We get the same redundancy, man. WrestleMania Backlash, we saw this same match. Madcap and Corbin. WrestleMania Backlash. SmackDown, June 3rd, just a couple weeks ago. We saw this same match. Hell in a Cell. We saw this same match. Last night, we see the same match. But we don't have the right to say, brah, do better. We're the negative ones in the community just because we're just saying, dude, do better. Because we're not fucking clapping around like demented trained seals. This is awesome. This is awesome. Come on, guys. This is awesome. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Because we're not doing that, we're the assholes in the community. That's fine, man. I'll wear the black hat in the community. I've been an asshole my whole life, man. Since I was a little BC, I've been an asshole. Good guy, too. I can be a good guy, I can be an asshole. Yeah, what side do you want? You know? We can smash down some drinks or we can fucking smash out. But either way, man, you get to dictate if you want the fucking prick. I can be such. Covering pro wrestling? That ain't it, brah. That ain't it. This is just me dropping facts. If you think that's BC being an asshole, man, you don't even know. Nah, that's the next level if BC needs to go asshole status. This is just me spitting facts and people can't even handle it. It's kind of fucking, it's interesting, man, you know, that people can just watch the same matches every week and go, I don't know why people are complaining. Why are they complaining? This is action. This is nonstop action. I was sports entertained. Well, I wasn't. And a lot of AMP unit members, they weren't. And a lot of the fan base at large for this promotion wasn't last night. The match ends with Moss defeating Corbin with 2 punchline finishers, subsequently burying Corbin in the process. In fact, post-match, Pat McAfee gets on the mic and has the entire crowd laugh Corbin out of the building. Michael Cole ends this segment saying, and I quote, Corbin has become the laughing stock of WWE. Well, I'm not sure where they're going with this, but boy, does it sound phenomenal. Said no son bitch ever. I don't know who could be excited for this, man. Then again, if it does get McAfee back into a wrestling ring, maybe I digress. I still don't know what it would do for Corbin, though, because, this guy was broke Corbin several months ago. Then he became happy Corbin. So broke Corbin. Then he was happy Corbin. Now he's laughed out of the arena and down on his luck again. So now is this sad Corbin? Corbin? Maybe he's got a twin brother too, like Ezekiel, man. Sad Corbin and sad Corbin. Is this depressed Corbin? Is this bullied Corbin? I just feel like they're going to give him a new fucking title now with this shit. Sad Corbin. No, I got to get a sip of coffee here. I can't be talking about this Corbin shit. I don't know what this is supposed to lead to. Pat McAfee would be the only reason we would care about him and Corbin at SummerSlam. Corbin, maybe by association, maybe by proxy, he'll feel like he's a big part of SummerSlam. I'm in a big match. Yes, but does anybody give a fuck about you? Booking matters. I don't know what this did. And then Moss, after Moss won, he started doing his laughing hysterically thing again, which is so fucking odd. It took us months to fucking not look at Seth Rollins like an idiot with his laugh. Now I think we're becoming more accustomed to it. The Moss thing, I don't think I'm ever going to be accustomed to. Shut the fuck up with the laugh. My goodness. There's so much irks me on this fucking show. Get a sip of coffee and we'll end hour number 1. I believe that was the New Day. Yeah, it was. It was the New Day defeating Jinder Mahal and Stanky. Kofi pins Mahal off of Trouble in Paradise. Stanky doesn't give a fuck that he just lost. He's over there in the corner dancing his ass off like he's at a New Kids on the Block concert. Oh, 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 the right stuff. And Mahal's over there like, fuck you, the modern day fuck you. I don't even know. I mean, Stanky's dancing. He's hey, what are you fucking doing, buddy? Doing some fucking Emelina. Remember when she popped the fucking balloons? She's doing some fucking doo-doo drop, right? Little fucking doo-doo. Doo-doo comes down to the fucking ring, too. She's like, ding, 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 ding. That's right, I'm a partier. Who wants to party? So you take a fucking 19-foot wrestler, 19 feet over 270, and or over 260 maybe, I don't know what the fuck, and you make him a dancing fucking douche, a dancing dipshit. You might as well fucking laugh him out of the building with Corbin. This is about, how is anyone entertained by this? How can you honestly, if you come across somebody that didn't like this segment or the whole show just seemed like a fuck fest like usual, how do you defend the company? Oh, stop. It's all in fun. It's putting smiles on faces, man. Stanky dancing was fun. I was there live. And I'm telling you right now, man, we were loving it. Like my wife, she had a soda. I had a beer. The kids were drinking some soup, some drink boxes. And we were all like, oh my God, this is so fun. You see Stanky. Stanky's dancing. Like, who does that, man? How can you defend that? You know, if your family went to the fucking WWE show and we're all laughing hysterically and having a great time because Stanky was dancing, damn, bro. I'm not even going to throw shade. I'm actually fucking jealous that you can lower your fucking entertainment bar to that level and that's what you can get your rocks off to. Fuck. I'm not asking the company to move mountains. My expectations aren't even that high with this show anymore. I'm asking for bare minimum to entertain. Hour number 2 starts with Drew McIntyre. Middle of the ring, Sheamus opposite of him and Adam Pearce in the middle of them. Not going to bullshit you guys at this point. I had to switch to my New York Yankees game on the Yes Network. Yankees Entertainment Sports Network. We call it Yes. And they were having just an epic 5th inning, scoring 8 runs in that 1/2 inning. I mean, my Yankees are on fire anyway. Not like I own the team, but my Yankees. I'm not the CEO of them. But my Yankees are fucking crushing it this year, man. They're literally, a lot of fans like to say my team is the best team. Literally, the Yankees are the number 1 team by a long landslide in the win-loss columns. That includes National League. So my Yankees were just crushing it again last night as we crushed the Blue Jays from Toronto. And that 5th inning was just fucking rocking. So BC, I mean, how sad is that? I always tell you guys, man, that's why you can't blame games, holidays, presidential speeches. I don't care if it's the playoffs, man. You can't blame that for a loss in audience. The bottom line is if you're putting together an exceptional product, people are not going to be able to leave it. That's what happened back in the Attitude Era, man. That's why the ratings were so high. It didn't matter if Monday Night Football was on. I mean, wrestling was just where it's at. I mean, obviously Monday Night Football was just crushing everything back then anyway. But if you look at the wrestling ratings, I mean, we were eating into the fucking Monday Night Football, as big as that was back in the day, because wrestling was just so hot. Because the product was hot. Because the content was so hot. The creativity was on fire. And that's what I mean. When you're not putting together a good show and something else is more captivating, people are going to switch. BC actually had to switch. And that 5th inning with the Yankees, just far outweighed anything that was going on with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and Adam Pearce in the middle, and they were all just boring the fuck out of BC. And that's what makes people tune away. See, most people are going to be just like BC. We're going to tune into the wrestling, and you have to give us a reason to put the remote down. You have to give us the reason from the jump. Otherwise, we'll switch to something better. These shows these days, they don't do that. So we'll switch. And I had to switch, man. And when I came back, I believe Pearce declared that both Sheamus and Drew were going to be participants in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then Drew McIntyre just started beating up Sheamus just because. As if I haven't seen these two take on one another 806 times. I don't even think that's an exaggeration. Up next, Raquel Rodriguez then earns a Money in the Bank spot for the females on that side of things for the pay-per-view. And she does that. She earns that spot by defeating Shayna Baszler. Pinning Baszler, by the way. That's a huge caveat there, a huge asterisk. She pinned Baszler. The only thing I'm not shocked about, or should I say the thing that I am shocked about, is that it wasn't via a fruit roll-up, because that's usually how Shayna Baszler loses all of her matches, just like Natty Neidhart. I do believe that we all can agree now, once and for all, that Shayna Baszler is beyond buried, right? Sadly, for Shayna Baszler, I do believe it's over. I don't see how she overcomes this. If you gave her solid Wardlow type booking for the next 2 months, I still couldn't take her seriously. And that's sad, because her whole gimmick and character from the jump should have been what was sitting in their lap. She's the most believable aside from Ronda. That would be an ass whooper. And how sad is it that just a couple years later, we're talking about how she's the least believable now. That's why booking matters. Congrats to Raquel Rodriguez. Shayna Baszler did something to the old bastard. Because, damn, she has just been buried further and further by the show by the week. It's interesting. You remember Shayna Baszler told Renee Paquette, Mox's wife, Mox's girl. Are they married? Who knows? Well, a lot of you guys probably know. I'm not that big into people's relationships, but Mrs. Mox, Renee, Shayna Baszler told her that, like, she was so confused by Vince. He would tell her to do her one thing, and we heard this so many times from so many people over the years, that Vince, you'll come back from a match, and Vince will tell you, what was that? It sucked to this and that. You got to change. So then they would change it. They would come back, and he'd be like, what the fuck was that? Change it up to the other thing. So she changed it to the other thing, and then he said that he originally liked the other thing. They'd be confused. And Shayna Baszler actually said that. She felt like her confidence was just gone. It was like stripped away. And I always told you guys, that's what Vince likes to do. He likes to put that WWE brand on you. He likes to strip down your confidence and self-esteem, mold you in the WWE way, and then basically, I can't even say theoretically, I mean just wholly own you at that point. Like, he wants you to know that you are at his mercy. And Shayna Baszler was just fucked from that day on. I truly believe that. And I think Vince lost respect for her, because she said she went to Vince's office one day and said, Vince, I will do whatever you tell me to do. Just don't give up on me. Keep telling me to switch it. I will find it. Just don't give up on me. You would think that's an admirable thing, right? This is somebody who loves the job, wants to be there, wants to get better, is going to go to the boss, not suck up, but tell them, I got you. If you're not getting what you want yet, I will get there. You would think that would be a good thing. No, Vince from that day on booked her the way that he's been booking her. Fruit roll-up after fruit roll-up after fruit roll-up. 2-minute match after 90-second match after 2-minute match after 90-second match. It's crazy, man. I think Vince looked at that meeting when Shayna went to his office that day. I think he looked at that as a sign of weakness and never looked at her the same way. It's funny. You remember Shayna Baszler was beating the shit out of everybody in the Elimination Chamber a few years ago. And now to see her like just struggling, she probably won't even make the Money in the Bank ladder match. It's such hot, cold. I mean, Vince doesn't even remember how he books people at the time. He's so erratic. So Stephanie's in charge. I asked you guys in yesterday's stream. I put up a poll. I asked you guys, is this just another McMahon name and it's just going to be somebody who's on strings and Vince McMahon is still going to be pulling those strings, the puppeteer? And over 60% of you guys said, yeah, this is just basically Vince McMahon, a 2.0 version, or negative 2.0. But this is just another McMahon in charge, and Vince is still going to be this. A lot of you guys felt that was going to be it. Vince is now relegated to just creator now, right? He just gets to focus on the creativity. I know Rome wasn't built in a day, and I wasn't expecting huge changes last night, but I mean, this just seemed like the same old booking, same old shit. I mean, if Stephanie is truly in charge, 30-something% of you guys on that poll think that Stephanie is gonna try to bring about change, is going to try to do better than her father did the last 10 years. Over 30% of you guys thought that. If that's going to happen, she needs to step it up like now. Not wait a week, not a month, not wait till the investigation is over. Right now, start to cultivate change. Cultivate it now. Because it's needed. Because if we don't see it, then we know right from the jump, like last night, that you're just on strings. And Stephanie is no better than Vince. It's just somebody with the McMahon name attached to him. One McMahon, you've seen them all. Shane might be the one that is the exception to the rule. I think Shane would actually, if Shane was in this position, because technically Stephanie is the boss of Vince right now. Technically. Shane, I bet you Shane would tell the old bastard no. He doesn't give a fuck. Shane has already walked away. Shane's a smart dude. Shane has side businesses. Shane made millions of dollars on his own, by the way. Look up what Shane has done outside of WWE. Shane doesn't need this shit. Shane would tell Vince no. Shane has gone to war with Vince backstage many times. I don't know if Stephanie has that type of chutzpah. I know a lot of us say that she's got Triple H's balls in her purse, but does she know how to use those balls? Max Dupri is up next, says for the second week in a row that he's going to debut his first client in his modeling agency next week. So he's been saying this for the past couple weeks. I honestly believe this, guys. This isn't just a funny little tidbit. This isn't just for a joke. I honestly believe they keep stalling week after week because they don't know who it is. I truthfully believe, as I always am with you guys, that they have no clue who they're going to use. They don't know where this is going. I really believe like that's why they're stalling this. And even more sad is just seeing Max Dupri, man, LA Knight like this. Like, this is an actual good wrestler who was just on fire, man. Like, you really thought he was going to be one of those people that can help become one of those big stars in WWE. And to see what he's become, and they're just dragging on this shit. It's almost like they're trying to taint him. Trying to strip away the confidence, strip away the self-esteem, market, mold you in the WWE way, and brand you with that WWE fucking brander. It's almost like they're just trying to fuck with this dude. It's insane. So another week to wait to see Max Dupri's modeling agency. And no, I know what you're thinking. It's not BC. No, I got the phone call. I denied it on the spot, bro. I want nothing to do internally with that company until a lot of shit changes. Sorry, Max. Main event was Roman Reigns versus Matt Riddle Universal Championship. This was a good damn match. Good match. Crowd was electric. Roman spears Riddle off of a springboard and subsequently pins Riddle. We knew Roman was not dropping the title. I didn't mind that finish, to be honest. I thought that the match was good. The finish is exactly what it was supposed to be. Riddle had kicked out of a late, almost said Spider-Man punch. Superman, no offense, Spider-Man. Sure, your punch is good. Superman punch, and Riddle kicks out. I mean, it was a very fun finish to the match, and it ended exactly. Some people thought it was abrupt. I didn't think it was at all. I thought that was exactly how, I mean, you would believe. Roman Reigns speared Riddle off of a springboard mid-air. Of course he's not kicking out of that shit. I didn't mind that, man. Roman Reigns retains. Post-match, Roman grabs the mic and says, there's no one left. He says, there's no one left. I smashed them all. There's no one left. And he's right. He says, I smashed them all. By the way, that's what Vince said. Oh, come on. What? Too soon? I smashed them all. That's what Vince said. No? Is that? No. Horrible BC. Oh, BC. That's an asshole joke. All right. I'm not taking it back. I still think it's funny. But he says he smashed them all. There's nobody left. And then he says, acknowledge me. He goes to walk off with the bloodline. Brock Lesnar's music hits. Brock Lesnar is on SmackDown. Brock Lesnar has returned to WWE. He hits the ring. He goes to shake Roman's hand. Roman goes to shake it. I thought that was kind of stupid, man. Roman knows better than that. Roman goes to shake it. He gets an F5. Jimmy gets an F5. Jay gets an F5. The entire bloodline minus a Paul Heyman. Everybody got an F5. And we end the night with Brock Lesnar's music blasting, and he's looking at the hard cam. He's Cowboy Brock. He's got the cowboy hat on. And this is no fucking joke, man. Like an hour later, guys, a graphic on official WWE's websites has Roman versus Brock for the championship at SummerSlam. Now this screams that they just knew they couldn't sell the stadium out. This screams panic. There's reports saying that this was weeks in the making, that Brock was coming back weeks ago. They made that decision. Well, this whole investigation we're hearing has been going on for months, actually. That's why Stephanie left weeks ago, because they knew they were going to bring her back in this role. They didn't want her to be kind of clouded by all of this, as if she was there the whole time. So they made it look like she took a hiatus. She wasn't even here for the whole thing. And then they brought her back just a few weeks later to take over the company. Yeah, okay. She said it was a family matter. Boy, it was. She didn't lie about that. She left for a family matter, okay. All right. But, people are like, oh, this was weeks in the making. This isn't panic. This was the plan all along. No, it wasn't. It was Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Those were the two fucking names. One injury after another, and this is where you really step up to the plate and you really get creative. Maybe you take a Bob Lashley, you give him Wardlow-type booking for 2 months, you take us over to SummerSlam, and maybe we give a fuck. Because right now, as much as we love Bobby Lashley, even Drew McIntyre, we don't really give a fuck about them. Right? Nothing about their booking has put us to the edge of our seat. You guys know I'm correct, right? We love Drew and Bobby Lashley. They're good talents, they're good people. We want to see the best for them. We know that they deserve championships and long reigns. But if the booking's not there, we can't truly care. So just seeing Bobby and Roman wouldn't even do anything for BC. Not even seeing Edge and Roman again would do anything for BC. AJ Styles or Finn Balor would not do anything because the booking for all of them has been so odd. But if you at least tried... if you said, okay, well, let's just go all in on a Bob Lashley or something like that, and you give Wardlow type booking and you swing for the fences. Home run's not going to do it. A 2-run shot, a 3-run shot, no. But maybe a grand slam will do it, and we'll give a fuck. But they didn't even try, man. This is classic WWE. They didn't even try. They bring Brock Lesnar back, and they put him in the same fucking role that he's been in for years. He has taken on Roman Reigns for years at several pay-per-views. I don't even have the full list. Maybe you guys do. But many pay-per-views they have taken each other on. Several WrestleManias. More than one. I believe 3, correct? Either way. Several pay-per-views. Several WrestleManias. And we're going to get it again at SummerSlam. And there's people that honestly don't understand why people are not on board with this decision. Why people are actually frustrated by it. Because SummerSlam is your second biggest pay-per-view of the year. We want to be excited for this, and you're giving us the same fucking match we've seen many, many times. They put a last man standing title on this match, by the way. It's a last man standing to try to tell fans that's going to be different this time. But come on, bro. It's Roman and Brock. You already know what you're going to get, man. You're going to see 106 suplexes. Suplex City, bitch. You're going to see Spider-Man or Superman punches, but it's going to be Superman City, bitch. Maybe we'll get 13, 14, 15 Superman punches. You know we're going to get 27 Spear City bitches. Maybe it goes 10 minutes. Maybe it goes 2. I don't know how this is going to get people excited. I'm dumbfounded by this, man. They ran out of steam the last time. They took each other on and they unified the championships. That should have been it, right? You unified the titles. That's the way you end years of these two going back and forth. And toward the end of that storyline, which was decent for a while, it was their best storytelling that they've done actually that last time around. But toward the end, you could tell they ran out of ideas. And now we're supposed to do this for another 6-7 weeks? Anybody that doesn't understand why we have concerns with this and why we're just raising it and raising the discussion, dude, you're delusional. You just are. You're not even comprehending the product. You're just willing to just eat up everything that this company gives you. And then if anybody complains or doesn't see it the same way, you're so angry. You're so negative. Yeah, 10 years of watching what we love turn to shit will do that. And no, we're not just going to stop watching it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. No, I always say this. It's like my Packers or my Knicks or my Yankees. If we suck for a season or 10 seasons, 20 or 30 seasons, like my Knicks, well over 2 decades. Or at least far removed from the Patrick Ewing days, John Starks, Allen Houston even, Latrell Sprewell, which that era was just after the Patrick Ewing days. The point is, a better part of 20 fucking years, we just suck. I don't stop watching my Knicks. I show up to Madison Square Garden or I'm on the King's chair watching it on the big screen, but I'm yelling. I'm yelling at them in the arena or I'm yelling at the TV. I'm screaming. I'm telling the coach what he should be doing because it's obvious. We're fans. We love it. Right? We love it. I'm not just going to stop watching the Knicks because they suck. I'm going to try to voice my displeasure as a fan would do to try to help. If at nothing else, to just voice our displeasure. In wrestling, I don't know what it is, but some people just think that wrestling's different. If I don't like it, don't watch it. Man, you just give up on your teams or the things that you love that easily? This isn't just like a regular TV show. You know what I mean? It's not like The Walking Dead where after fucking 7 or 8 seasons it starts getting really shitty and a lot of people jumped off the ship. They didn't know if they were going to sink or swim, but they knew they had to get the hell off that ship because Walking Dead was getting odd. Now, I still watch it, but I love Walking Dead. And again, I don't give up on shit too easily. So I stuck with it, but I understand a lot of people had to take off. It's a television show. Wrestling is more than that. I really like the phrase sports entertainment. I know some people don't. I like it. It really is a mix of entertainment and sport. You put it together, it's theatrics at its utmost climax. It's at the utmost amplified level. There's nothing like pro wrestling. I really put it up there with other hobbies and passions and loves that I have, like my Green Bay Packers, my Yankees, my Knicks, professional wrestling. Absolutely. I just wish more people were just honest, or at least raise their bar a little more. But as long as Vince can get thousands of people to the arenas for his television shows to clap for everything and chant, "This is awesome" for everything, he's never going to change. I just wish more people would just wake the fuck up, man. That's what I got for you. SmackDown, 6/17/2022. Vince McMahon comes out, says a whole lot of nothing, and the wrestling community is just befuddled by it. We'll see what the outcome of it all is within the next 24 hours. I expect way more to come out from this report. Brock Lesnar returns. We got him and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Fucking also mind-numbing, mind-boggling. And as far as Sasha Banks, there's still more and more reports that she's released. As of the recording of this, guys, we still cannot confirm that. So everyone that's confirming it, they're really doing it without confirmation. The last I checked, and I'm talking about 30 minutes before I started recording this. It's still early in the morning, but by the time you guys get this, it'll be probably afternoon. But it's early in the morning. But a half an hour before I started recording, man, Sasha Banks is still listed on WWE's roster page. Now, when they let you go, you're gone immediately. They're on top of that shit. For legal reasons, you have to be too. So, you know, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. In fact, I told you just 2 streams ago, it's imminent. I thought it could happen yesterday, confirmed by WWE, but it hasn't yet. So BC doesn't really want to go into it until it actually happens. These days, everybody just wants to make content. A story just breaks. They don't have all the facts. They just want to make content. But, you know, we also do have, you know, if you have any sizable audience, if you have a significant audience on any spectrum, you do owe it to the audience and yourself to have some fucking facts to back it up. Oh, just a whole lot of clickbait. Sasha released. And I'm like, wait, whoa. What? So that's the latest word we got now. Now, by the time this comes out, maybe she has been, right? Then the last 2 minutes of this video is all for nothing. Guys, I'm gonna fucking, first of all, I'm gonna down the rest of this because I've been nursing this for this video, but now I get to down it. Then I'm gonna get a whole nother coffee as we hit the road because we got a lot to do straight through Monday. But the good news is I will be back for Raw, so maybe we can do a little bit of a live for the first hour of Raw. That would be really cool. I can't guarantee that, but that would be cool if I can get everything done this weekend. There's just so much to do. So let's not waste another second. My amp unit, think, be, live, amped always. And until next time, BC, and I'm out. Check you.